Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode. I hope you are all having a great day. Today we go to Pocono here in the Cup Series and Iowa actually for the Xfinity Series. There you see the points on your screen. Currently Jimmie Johnson a little bit out of the playoffs. He needs certainly some consistency if he wants to get in, but we come to the Xfinity Series where we had subscriber Robert Campbell in the car. Iowa, always a tough track to run well at, it feels like, in this game, so I wasn't really expecting a great finish here in Iowa. Hopefully we can next season when we actually start a team again maybe find some speed at this racetrack, as Campbell would continue though to just kind of struggle throughout this race as he came out of turn 2 heading down the back straightaway, and he came through now to the final lap down towards turns 3 and turn 4, losing some more positions there as he gets passed by the 66, and on the exit of turn 4 heading down the front straightaway, Robert Campbell's going to come through to cross the line just in front of the 74 of Mike Harmon, and that would bring us home a 24th place finish. So obviously not the greatest finish, but it's Iowa, and likely this team's going to need to win to get into the playoffs. But now he's coming to qualifying here in the Cup Series, heading down the front straightaway. At this point, it wasn't the best qualifying lap. I made a bit of a mistake in turns 1, but we hit a 54.421, and we go P18 here for the start of Pocono. So hopefully we can work our way forwards. Last time out, we started in the similar spot and got a top 10 out of it, with Keselowski starting on the pole here today in Pocono for the Tricky Triangle.
NASCAR makes its final stop at Pocono Raceway for the Gander RV 400. It's always fun coming to this 2.5-mile triangle-shaped speedway. All 3 turns are different, and the banking in those turns is far less than most tracks of its size. It's time to head down to the track.
Alright, thank you, Rick Allen. We're ready to go green here for the Gander RV 400. Kyle Larson still angry. We haven't even touched him since he's become a rival. Ty Dillon crashed during qualifying, so he is starting at the back with a backup car, obviously, and Brad Keselowski on the pole with Denny Hamlin joining him on the front row. Hamlin has been dominant this season as he tries to pick up as many playoff points as possible, as we're trying to do the same thing, leading in towards the final stretch now, towards the playoffs, as the green flag is out, and we are underway here at Pocono Raceway. Ryan Blaney on the inside. He is barely inside the playoffs right now, so Blaney definitely, we got to race him as clean as possible. We're in that time now. We've got 2 wins on the season, obviously getting our 2nd career win in the last episode at New Hampshire. We now are just trying to make sure we don't mess with some of these guys that are trying to get into the playoffs on points, like Ryan Blaney, Jimmie Johnson, our teammate Eric Almirola. We're trying to help him out if we can. Ryan Preece trying to make it into the top 30 in points after winning the Daytona 500. If he makes it in the top 30, he will be in the playoffs. Currently he is in the top 30 after being out of it most of the season. So Preece in a good position right now, but like I said, we're trying to help our teammate for sure of Eric Almirola at this point. Clint Boyer, our teammate as well, on the cusp of barely making the playoffs. He could be in trouble if he runs into some bad luck, but he should be okay now as we exit turns 3, heading down this front straightaway behind the 24 now of William Byron. P17 as we come through to cross the line. 10 laps to go in this first and opening stage here, as there shouldn't be any green flag pit stops in these first 2 stages. Now on the inside of the 22s, we go down towards turns 1, sliding into the corner a little bit on the inside there of the 17 now of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We clear Stenhouse, take P15, and as you can see on the exit of the tunnel turn, actually getting into the wall just a little bit, but we still had a momentum to look to the inside of the 24 of William Byron there, as you see our rival of Kyle Larson just up ahead. Still don't think we should be rivals, obviously. Larson, he is tied for my favorite driver in NASCAR, so it was unfortunate that we're rivals with him now as we came through on the tunnel turn again, actually getting to the inside of Kyle Larson and Eric Jones on lap 4, approaching lap 5 now, making some moves up the inside of our teammate Clint Boyer. Larson close to my back bumper, but thankfully he does not give us the bumper as we come through turns 3 on the inside of Clint Boyer as we exit the corner side by side with our Stewart Haas Racing teammate. Elliott leads this little group of cars currently now as we have 7 laps to go here in this opening stage. As we go down towards turns 1, we're going to take a 3 wide there with Bowman and Blaney as we go through the center of the corner, and we clear them both and take P9. As we came through now on lap 6, we had actually gone to the inside of Chase Elliott, and we would make a pass on him to take over P8. So definitely showing some speed as Kyle Busch at this point was leading the way. So working our way forwards, but now as we came through on lap 7, heading down through turns 3, once again Kyle Busch still out front here in Pocono now as we get a little bit too low on the apron, and sideways we go as we exit turns 3, getting into the side of the 12 of Ryan Blaney now, and thankfully he hangs on to it. Boyer gets past, certainly a moment there as we almost cleaned ourselves out and then took Blaney with us, but we all kept it straight. We would actually be able to battle back and get to the inside of Ryan Blaney's Clint Boyer was driving away now as there's trouble up ahead though. Our teammate of Kevin Harvick is blowing up as we go down through turn turns one, nearly getting into the back of him as we go for a bit of a slide and we hang on to it. Blaney goes around on the outside. We keep it straight. Thankfully, no caution is thrown, and we would be able to just run in P9 here, heading towards the white flag. But now Martin Truex Jr., as we started the final lap of the stage, he had closed on to the back of me as we went down towards turns 1, and he had so much speed that I didn't even try to like hold him off. I just went down into turns 1, let him have that position, and see if we could set him up here towards the exit of the tunnel turn on this final lap of this first and opening stage. You see the tire icon on your screen. We've certainly worn these rear tires out by sliding so much in this first and opening stage, so we're definitely going to have to make adjustments here at the stage break going into stage 2. We're going to have to tighten up the car a little bit now as we exit the tunnel turn, looking now to the inside of the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. as we head down towards turns 3 for the final time here in this first and opening stage. It got a little bit wild here towards the final laps of this stage. Boyer up ahead and Blaney on the inside of Truex now as we exit turns 3, heading down the front straightaway side by side with Truex. He has the momentum though, and he is going to be able to hang on for the position as we still do get 1 point here in stage 1 with the P10 finish. Kyle Busch did win the stage. Aric Almirola gets P2. Obviously, notably, Almirola in our career mode had a rough start to the season, but lately he has shown a lot of speed, and he's showing it again today as we would make a wedge adjustment there and gain 1 position on pit road by overtaking Martin Truex Jr. So now we're ready to go green here for the start of the second stage in Poconos. The green flag is out. Blaney just ahead of us. He got points. Boyer got points. 2 drivers, obviously, that are in desperate need of points to make sure they're safe in this playoff right now. Obviously, like I said, Jimmy Johnson, he is about 30 or so points out right now, so he definitely needs to figure something out. And Aric Almirola, I think, is like 20 out, and so is Kyle Larson, as Larson gets right into my rear view mirror. He had a great reset. He actually took some drivers 3 wide as we exit turn 1, getting into the side of Tyler Reddick. That caught me off guard. Obviously, I tightened up the car, but it was actually a lot tighter than I expected on the exit of the corner. I just drifted up the track right into the side of the 31 of Reddick as we go down towards the tunnel turn. Boyer gets in behind us. Larson's looking to the inside of him now as we exit this tunnel turn. But we have such a great launch off the exit of the tunnel turn as we go down towards turn 3. We take it 3 wide with Reddick and Ryan Blaney as we go down into this third corner behind Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch, who battle side by side. Kurt Busch having a solid season, obviously, in our career mode as well. He is not going to have to worry about making the playoffs, as he will easily be in it now as we come through, crossing the line, completing the first and opening lap of the second stage, giving Tyler Reddick a bump as we go down towards turns 1, and we look to the inside of him now as we head into this first corner. Kyle Busch still leads, and Keselowski tries to look to the inside of Aric Almirola for that second position as we clear the 31, but nearly getting into the side of the 1 car as we exit turns 1. Now as Truex, though, he would be able to slide up on the inside and battle us as we went down this back straightaway. Now it's like, do I want to battle him and go into the tunnel turn on the outside? No, I do not. So I let Truex go and slide in behind him as we go through this tunnel turn, and even try to cross him over on the exit of the tunnel turn and see if we can complete the pass. But we kind of got stuck here when I got to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. It became a bit of a challenge to get past him. We came through down into turns 1 now on lap 3, still on the inside of Truex and looking to the inside of Denny Hamlin, but getting sideways on the entry and so tight on the exit that I have to get out of the throttle, and Truex would be able to get clear as he went down this straightaway. So we came through now on lap 6. Boyer had even gotten past me as we came out of turn 2, now battling with our Stuart Haas Racing teammate here in P8. Kyle Busch still leads, but the caution comes out here in Pocono, setting us up for a now late second stage restart. No one pitted, so we get right back into the action as the green flag is once again out, and it's going to be just 2 laps to go here in the second stage at Pocono. Certainly, it's been a bit more of an eventful Pocono race than the first one this season was, which is nice. Now as we go down towards turns 1 on the outside of the 14 of Clint Boyer, Kyle Busch and Aric Almirola lead this front row through turns 1, and then we got Kurt Busch on that second row as Tyler Reddick actually took us 3 wide into turns 1. That pushes me up the track. Now Chase Elliott gets to the inside. Elliott, we know he's going to be a strong contender as well in that playoff. He's obviously got 2 wins this season, both at the Daytona race recently, the Daytona July race, and obviously he won Bristol earlier this season. So we know Elliott, he's going to be a strong contender now as we go down the straightaway, trying to get to the inside of Boyer, but couldn't quite do so now as we are approaching this final lap. Sure enough, we came to the final lap through the tunnel turn of the second stage. Now on the exit of the tunnel turn, building up the momentum, looking to the inside now of Clint Boyer as we go down towards turn 3, now to the inside of the 2 of Keselowski as we go down through turn 3 for the final time here in this second stage, trying to take the position away from Keselowski side by side as we exit turn 3. A little bit of contact between myself and Keselowski, but he has momentum just like Truex did on the end of stage 1, and Keselowski edges us out for P7. So we get P8 as Kyle Busch sweeps the first 2 stages, picks up another playoff point, and obviously we would have to come to the pit lane for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, and I made a very minor wedge adjustment, trying to loosen the car back up just a tiny bit now as we get ready to go green for the 3rd and final stage here at the Tricky Triangle.
Coming to the green, driver.
Truex now leads over Kyle Busch as he overtook Busch on the pit lane as the green flag is on. The 3rd and final stage is underway. Only 13 laps in this final stage here in Pocono. So the 3rd stage of Pocono, not very long obviously, and the first time we came here was pretty short, as well as we get ready to go towards turns 1. The long stretch down towards turns 1, about 170 miles an hour as we approach the corner on the inside here of the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Like I said, we made a minor wedge adjustment, trying to loosen the car back up just a little bit, but not to the point that it was at the beginning of the race, and it certainly felt a little bit better right there on the exit of turns 1 as we go side by side with Denny Hamlin, the dominant driver on the season. Obviously, last episode in New Hampshire, Hamlin was the only other car that was capable of competing with me, but he ended up retiring from the race now as we exit the tunnel turn, sliding into the side of Denny Hamlin though, as we go down this back straightaway towards turns 3. Boyer trying to put on the pressure from behind as Truex tries to hang on to the lead position. 2nd place now belongs to Tyler Reddick and 3rd to Aric Almirola. Tyler Reddick has a chance to get his first career Cup Series win here right now in Pocono, which would put him inside the playoffs and once again shake things up big time. And certainly we don't really want to see that, because that would really hurt our teammate of Aric Almirola's chances to get into the playoffs. Obviously myself and Kevin Harvick don't have to worry, but Boyer, he's somewhat safe right now getting into the playoffs. But Aric Almirola, we want all 4 cars on this team in the playoffs, and we're going to do what we can to help Aric Almirola make it in. Now as he came through turns 1 and lap 31 at this point, 10 laps to go, the tires were actually starting to fall off a bit, and Boyer took full advantage. He would look to my inside as we went down this back straightaway. Truex continuing to lead the way as Boyer got clear as we went down towards the tunnel turn, and now as we came through on lap 34, still running P7 behind Clint Boyer. Truex continued to lead, but the car started coming back to me a little bit because we came through the tunnel turn and got through it pretty well, and now we built up a ton of momentum down this back straightaway, closing in on the back of the 14 of Clint Boyer. We look to the inside of him as we go down towards turns 3. We can race him aggressive if you want, because like I said, he should be okay on the points unless something goes catastrophically wrong here in these final races towards the playoffs. Now up into that 6th position past Clint Boyer as we came through now on lap 36, just a few laps later, sideways on the exit of turn 1, but we hang on to the car. The car was certainly starting to loosen up at this point. You see the right rear was at 31%, but the caution comes out here with 5 laps to go in Pocono. Ryan Blaney pitting. He might have been the reason for the caution, but also the leader of Martin Truex Jr. is pitting, so one of them must have brought out the caution. Truex pitting from the lead as we barely have enough fuel to get to the end. A huge shakeup here as this puts Tyler Reddick in the front position here on this late race restart in Pocono. Can he win his way into the playoffs for his first win of his Cup Series career? We're about to find out, as it's a 2-lap dash here in Pocono. Aric Almirola in P3. He knows if Tyler Reddick wins this race that his playoff chances get severely demolished, and now Almirola needs to be very aggressive on this restart. We get right on his back bumper going towards turns 1, and as we go through the center of the corner on the inside of Boyer, trying to look to the inside of Kyle Busch, Almirola looks to the inside of Tyler Reddick as we exit turn 1. He's looking for his first win of the season, but Reddick's looking for win number 1 of his career, but Almirola does not care about that. He wants a playoff position now as we're still on the inside of Clint Boyer, who looks to our right rear as we go down towards this tunnel turn, and Almirola has the advantage as we exit the tunnel turn, still side by side with our Stuart Haas Racing teammate of Clint Boyer, as he does not want to give up this battle, as Almirola and Reddick are still side by side for the lead as we go down towards turn 3, but there it is now. Almirola clears Tyler Reddick for the lead position as we exit turn 3. Kyle Busch trying to put some pressure on Reddick as we exit the corner, heading down the front straightaway. The white flag is in the air for Aric Almirola, who tries to be the 3rd winner for this team this season, as we give Kurt Busch a big shot to the bumper going down the front straightaway. Now looking to the inside of the number 1 Monster Energy driver for Chip Ganassi Racing as we come through turns 1. Busch looks to the inside of Reddick now as he tries to maybe even get up there and steal the win from Almirola if there's enough time, as we're still side by side with the 1 car. The tire icon comes on now. The 20% on the right rear, it shouldn't be a factor as we go down this straightaway. Reddick had a great chance, but now his chances are very low as he goes on the outside into the tunnel turn as we take it a little bit easy, trying to get the best exit possible, and sure enough we get past the 1 car of Kurt Busch, nearly clear of him as Almirola leads towards turns 3 for the final time here in Pocono. We look to the inside just about of Tyler Reddick. He's just clear now. We fight back on the inside through the center of the corner, but he has momentum off the corner as we exit turn 3, but it doesn't matter. Aric Almirola will punch his ticket into the playoffs, and now we have at least 3 Stuart fewer Haas racing cars in the playoffs guaranteed as we finish P4. So great for Eric Almirola, who's really shown a lot of speed recently here in our career mode. Kind of the summer swing has played into his favor a lot there. As you see the finishing order now on your screen, Jimmie Johnson outside the top 15. He just cannot get up there when he needs to, as it was McMurray and Harvick who both retired from the events there. As you see a bit of the playoffs on your screen, or the point standings. We will check the playoff grid here in just a moment, but as always, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. But now we're going to see what the playoff grid looks like after Almirola winning his way in. He was the first car out of the playoffs, so it's not like a huge deal, but obviously he no longer has to worry about pointing his way in, which is very good for him. But next we actually have Watkins Glen, so I'm very excited for that. But here we will see the point standings quickly. Stenhouse now 25 out, Larson 33 out, Jimmie Johnson 54 points out as Almirola wins his way in. Bowyer is good by actually over 100, so Bowyer shouldn't be in trouble, and Blaney's the last car in. So that would do it for this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have yourselves a great day.